The cursed room. The haunting of room 666. The first time I stepped into room 666, the air felt heavy, like walking through a fog of unseen eyes. I was a forensic nurse in a hospital's psychiatric ward, and over the years I had seen my share of strange cases, but nothing prepared me for what I witnessed in that cursed room. We had a patient, an older woman named Margaret, who swore she was being tormented by a demon. She called it Abaddon. At first we dismissed it as delusions. Many patients in the psych ward spoke of monsters that didn't exist. But Margaret's case was different. Things happened in that room that no one could explain. Every night Margaret would scream as if she were being tortured. When we rushed in, we'd find her covered in fresh bruises, scratches running down her arms, a split lip, or a black eye. There was never any sign of her hurting herself. Her hands were often restrained to prevent self-injury, yet the wounds still appeared. One night I walked in to check on her. The second I stepped inside, the lights flickered. Margaret sat up, eyes wide with terror. "He's here," she whispered, her voice barely audible. A gust of wind, impossible since there were no open windows, rushed past me, sending shivers down my spine. I turned quickly, but the room was empty. That was the night we started to believe her. Things escalated. Objects moved on their own. A nurse's cart was flung across the room as if someone had thrown it in rage. The security cameras in the hallway glitched whenever something happened inside. One night, a guard reported seeing a shadow standing in the doorway of 666, but when he went to check, the room was empty except for Margaret, shaking in her bed. She kept repeating one phrase over and over: "He won't let me leave." 2 days later, she was discharged against medical advice. The moment she was wheeled out of the ward, every single alarm on the floor went off. It was as if the entire unit was warning us. We should have listened. After Margaret left, the room didn't stay empty for long. New patients came and went, but the horror continued. One man, a skeptic, laughed at the rumors of the haunted room. That same night, he was found unconscious on the floor, his face covered in deep scratches. He had been alone. Another patient was found sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth, whispering something no one could understand. When asked what happened, he simply pointed to the ceiling. The security cameras caught something that night. Figure tall, shadowy, and shifting stood in the room just behind the patient. But when the staff rushed in, nothing was there. Then came the night when we finally saw it for ourselves. A code blue was called for a patient in 666 as the team ran to the room. The hallway lights flickered violently. The door slammed shut on its own. It took 3 people to force it open. Inside, the patient was gasping for air, his hands gripping his throat as if being strangled by unseen fingers. The monitors beeped wildly, but his vitals showed nothing abnormal, except for his rapidly fading oxygen levels. Then we heard it, a low guttural growl that sent ice through our veins. The room went pitch black. When the lights returned, the patient was unconscious, but his grip marks remained dark, gray bruises that looked like hands too large to be human. That was the last patient to ever stay in room 666. The hospital officially shut it down, but sometimes, late at night, the lights still flicker. And if you listen closely, just outside the door, you might hear the whispers of something that was never meant to leave, never will.